Hello there, blade fans. This old sword back with you again with yet another Cricket Columbia River knife and tool knife review. This one did not just hit the other day, so it's not the latest and greatest, but it is a neat little knife. And as much as I am not super drawn to small knives, this one checks a lot of boxes for usefulness and EDC. It was designed by James Williams, Sensei James Williams, who is a Japanese sword and self-defense expert. He's trained the military. He spent 30 years or more in the Japanese arts of swordsmanship, jiu-jitsu, etc., and is a fine blade designer. The knife utilizes a stainless steel interframe build with steel liners, one locking, and a textured G10 handle scales that are machined with the Japanese kanji characters that signify strategy, system of strategy. I'm reading from the Cricket website here. A thumb disc allows rapid opening with either hand, and the custom stainless steel clip can quickly and easily be mounted left or right-handed with a single screw. So it's a truly ambidextrous knife. And a few quick specs for you. 3.13 inch blade length, plain edge, 8 CR14 MOV steel, satin finish, 0.12 inch or 3.1 millimeter thickness of the blade. Overall length is 7 inches, closed length is 4 inches, and it weighs 3.6 ounces. The scales are G10. And it is an assisted folding liner lock knife. That being said, it's an interesting assisted knife because notice the little hole in the end, and if I remember and get this right, the screw here loosens, there it is, the screw loosens the tension on a rod, which is essentially your spring. See if I can light that up for you. Yeah, I've carried it. Maybe if we close it up. I'm not sure we're going to be able to see it without disassembly, and I'm not going there. But here's the deal. You can unassist it. You can pull that spring entirely out through that hole in the back and have just a regular old liner lock flipper with a thumb disc. Kind of cool. There's the kanji characters that were being spoken of. Deep carry clip. One of the first knives, and this goes back a number of years, 5 or more, maybe more than that, with a truly deep carry clip. So this knife can disappear not only in a pocket, but in a suit coat, inside pocket, waistband, wherever you'd like to carry it. It is, handle is not particularly thick. I think the dimensions were given, but let's take another look. Let's get it right here. 1/2 inch, exactly. Only 7 inches overall, but here's the thing too. That kind of ergonomically neutral handle in the Japanese tradition, and there's your blade very much in the Japanese tradition before the advent of the American tanto. You do have kind of a belly forward grind change there, and a nice swedge on the top. All the edges are rounded. you have a really neat piercing point that is not delicate. And that's one of the interesting things about this. The Hisatsu, the Heiho, and many of James Williams' designs is that you get that piercing point without sacrificing the thickness of the steel at the very end. And I think that is definitely worthwhile. As I was saying with the ergos, the hand completely swallows it up, but you don't feel as though you're missing anything. You get all 4 fingers on there. You got a little finger groove here. Thumb easily goes on the back for reinforcing the cut. Can be easily pivoted, and these knives can change position very easily because of the neutral handles, into a edge end point down, which is a very effective self-defense position for a knife for close quarters. At the same time, great little EDC knife. I think that's pretty much the factory edge on that. I don't believe I've touched that. And yeah, that's got some grab to it. So a nice edge right from the factory. Yeah, the steel isn't amazing. And what are these going for that they mention on the website? $69.99 is the suggested retail. So you can probably pick them up for 50 bucks or so. And I believe they still are made. They're made in a partially serrated Zeph edge with those radically backward facing large serrations that cut like crazy. I think it also comes in a black blade. The hardware, although it's silver, doesn't stand out too much. It's got some good weight for a little knife. And there is your blank for switching the clip to the left side. So it is truly ambidextrous because of that thumb disc and because you can switch the clip over. Fires out very fast with the assist. Locks up tight. I've opened this more than a few times and it's still tight as a drum. No jimping. Oh, big feature here, I forgot. The locks, double lock, which you can engage manually, blocks the liner from closing, so you have essentially a fixed blade knife once that's in place, but it's easily taken off. And in my experience, sliding your thumb over it does not put it into the lock position. You have to actually push your thumb into it and roll it forward. It's got a little bit of knurling on it, so it's easy to do that. So the Cricket Heiho, designed by James Williams, Japanese inspired, very concealable, very easy carry knife. We'll take a look at it next to something somewhat more its size. The Griptilian by Benchmade. So it's definitely a smaller knife than the Griptilian. Griptilian's blade may be coming up on a ½ inch longer and a full inch longer on the handle of the Griptilian. And the Freak is going to be a much larger knife. I do have smaller folding knives such as the Wee Banter and so forth. Unfortunately, they're not close by. And a little bit of my lack of planning. I wanted to show you this blade, which I think still is very viable even with the more modern designs today. I mean, this is still a very neat and useful assisted folding knife, which can be de-assisted very easily. I've done it. Slid that rod out, just put it away in a plastic bag in case you want it. No lanyard provision because there's other stuff going on. So not really a type of knife you'd lanyard, but then again, I don't do that often enough to really know. But Again, neat idea in a knife is that it can be either assisted or not assisted, is a useful size, can be a powerful EDC backup, second knife, or even as a discrete carry primary knife. So there you have the Heiho by Columbia River Knife and Tool, designed by James Williams. Hope you enjoyed this. There'll be more blades coming, so stay tuned. Don't forget to like and subscribe. This Old Sword, signing out.